The purpose of this video is to briefly describe and demonstrate the variable interval slider tool that will be used in this survey. This tutorial will describe how to position the handle within the scale, how to resize the region of certainty, and an explanation of what the region of certainty is. It will end with a brief description of the survey's purpose. Upon completing this video, you will be asked a few general questions about yourself, and will then be given a chance to practice with the variable interval slider before proceeding to the 79-question survey. The video, general questions, and practice should take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. The 79-question survey should take between 15 and 20 minutes to complete. First, let's talk about how to position the handle within the scale. Grab the handle with the left mouse button. Click and hold while dragging the handle to your desired location. Releasing the left mouse button will ground the handle. Alternately, you can position the mouse pointer on the line you wish to ground the handle, or to a location vertically above or below the line, then use the left mouse click to ground the handle. It'll automatically snap to the location chosen. Finally, you can position the mouse pointer as mentioned earlier, but click and hold the left mouse button to make fine adjustments around the point chosen before releasing the button to ground the handle. You will notice that a green region will automatically build around some of your handles. This region is called the region of certainty. We will now describe how this region of certainty works. The region of certainty is centered on the handle and is initially equal to twice the distance between the handle and the nearest endpoint. For example, if you ground the handle at a location that is 1/4 of the scale distance from the nearest endpoint, then this region will be centered on that point and will extend to the nearest endpoint, but also 1/4 of the scale length in the opposite direction. In this example, the total region width would be equal to about half the scale length. Alternately, if you ground the handle exactly in the middle of the scale, this region will be equal to the entire length of the scale. To resize the region of certainty, move the cursor into the right portion of the region, click and hold the left mouse button, then drag the region to resize it. Release the left mouse button to ground this region. This action can be accomplished multiple times. Another way to resize the region is with the scroll wheel on your mouse. Moving the scroll wheel up makes the region larger, and moving the scroll wheel down makes the region smaller. Please note that you must move the mouse pointer off the handle and into the region before attempting this. Finally, if you're dissatisfied with your result for any reason, use a left mouse button double click or a single right mouse button click to reset the region and allow the handle to become mobile again. This action can be accomplished multiple times. The last item we will address is what the region of certainty represents and how you should use it in this survey. The purpose of the region of certainty is to allow you to answer the question posed with your best estimate of the answer to the question, but also to allow you to give a level of certainty in your answer. In other words, it allows you to consider and account for multiple different situations in which you might answer the same question slightly differently. For example, if you're asked whether or not you remained calm in tense situations, you might consider how you acted in multiple tense situations, then try to size that region such that it captures your different responses in those situations. The best way to look at this might be to state that the handle itself represents your average answer, but the region around the handle represents the full range of your possible answers in diverse situations. For the purposes of this survey, let's assume that this region represents your 90% level of certainty in your response. In other words, it represents your range of responses in 9 out of 10 situations. Having said this, it's important to note that it is possible to be absolutely certain that your response would not change in a variety of situations. In this case, simply resize the region of certainty to be equal to 0. It is also important to note that, although the region of certainty starts out large, you're being asked to resize it based on your actual level of certainty. It might require some additional thought to justify the region's eventual size, but you're encouraged to do this and only accept the default size if it truly is the best representation of your opinion. This completes the tutorial portion of this video. We will end with a brief discussion about the purpose of the survey and what is expected of you as a participant. The survey you are about to take is a personality survey, so it's in your interest to answer each question as honestly and as thoroughly as possible. Upon completion of the survey, you will be provided with a personality profile and a link to a resource that more fully explains your profile should you wish to learn more. You'll notice that in many instances, the exact same question will be asked twice, and the number and fidelity of allowed scale responses will differ. In other words, in some cases, you will only be allowed to use the scale anchors, completely agree or completely disagree, while in other instances, you'll be allowed to use more options, such as 3, 5, 7, and so on, up to the fully capable continuous scale with region of certainty. In cases where the region of certainty is not allowed, the handle will remain blue when it's grounded on the scale. In cases where the region of certainty is allowed, the handle will turn green when grounded, and the region will automatically build to its maximum allowable width based on where the handle is grounded on the scale. You'll now proceed to the initial questions, followed by an opportunity to practice the variable interval slider before proceeding to the survey. On behalf of the research team at Washington State University, thank you for your participation in this important study.